Ashe, ashe. Yeah. Yeah. Good morning, church. We got Tommy Poole and company in the house. Rick Fortner has rounded up quite a group. And we are so happy. That was a song for my father because, you know, today is Father's Day. Among many things happening in June, that's my favorite month because not only is it Father's Day, but Jimmy Carter in 1979 said that the month of June is Black Music Month. And you know, Black Music Month doesn't mean that only black people can play the music because the music invigorates what we all have, and that's called soul. And you can tell that you don't have to be black to have soul. But you have to find it, church. You know, you got to let it go. Express yourself. All the feelings that are inside, let it come out. That's soulful. Now, besides Black Music Month, this is also, of course, Juneteenth. We're going to talk a little bit about that. And also, my birthday is next Saturday, and I like June for that. Yep. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I made it on through. Yes, I will be 71. And I got soul. Well, I want to talk to you this morning, church, because I feel it's important for us to understand how all of these things that are going on right now, whether it's Juneteenth or Father's Day or whatever it is, it all brings us to a place that we can communicate about it. You know, I'm going to get to this place of dealing with the question, are you afraid of love? I'm going to get there. But I want to start off with a Father's Day nod. You know, when it's Father's Day, people think about what did your father tell you that has sustained you over all these years? And I remember my dad would say more than once, son, don't fall for the okie doke. Now, for some of you out there who says, well, what's wrong with okie doke? You know, we say, you going to be there tomorrow? Yeah, okie doke. At least they used to say that. But now okie doke has another kind of meaning. It means if someone is deceiving, lying, deceiving in a sly and clever way. And it hurts because you really believe them. And then you find out the joke's on you. So he would always say, son, don't fall for the okie doke. Now, what that does, church, is that if you are hearing your father say something like that, you get cautious because you're ready to not fall. And so then the issue of trust becomes really big because you don't do much trusting if you don't want to fall. But I disobeyed. Yes, I failed many times for the okie doke. But I wasn't the only one. I think we as people of color have always fallen for the okie doke because we really believe that folks have good intentions. And I think part of really believing people have good intentions has to do with our own belief in ourselves, because we have good intentions. It starts there. If you want to be a person like you, if you want to deal with a person like you, then you treat them like you, right? It's somewhere in there we heard something about treat people like you want to be treated, you know? But some people say, no, it's more fun to fool them. And I think one of the biggest okie dokes was the Emancipation Proclamation and the Order Number 3, which General Gordon Granger read in Galveston, Texas on June 19th, 1865. Now let's go back a little bit, okay? First of all, the Emancipation Proclamation. Church, you think that meant that black people were set free. That's not true. The Emancipation Proclamation was a military order given to the Confederate States, people living in the Confederate States. You see, Abraham Lincoln sat down with his generals and they said, this is around 1862, and they said, we're not doing too well out here. Johnny Reb's got us on the run. We need some reinforcements. And I tell you what, Mr. President, if we had those black folks who are enslaved in Confederate states fighting for the Union Army, I do believe we could turn the tables on Johnny Reb, where Abraham Lincoln was no fool. And so he said, well, I want to win, and we're going to do that. So the Emancipation Proclamation said, if you are living in a Confederate state and you are black, you are set free, right? And come on and join the Union Army, and then we can muster you, give you guns, and you can fight this good war for your sake. Now that's what the Emancipation Proclamation did. It said that you will fight. Now, that was 1863, January 1863, Emancipation Proclamation. Now, fast forward now, the war is over. April 9, Robert E. Lee rides up on Traveler, and he says, I give, I give. And the war was over. That was April 9th, 1865. April 15th, Abraham Lincoln is assassinated. All right? So you see, all of this is going on in 1865. Well, later on, they say, well, we got to tell those folks down in Texas that the war is over. So they sent the General Granger, and he rides away. Actually, he came up in a boat, and the folks all came out. And General Granger says something like this: the people of Texas are informed that in accordance with the proclamation from the executive of the United States, he didn't say president, the executive of the United States, all slaves are free. All right, he said that, all slaves are free. But church, listen here, listen a little bit more. He said all slaves are free, but he also said this word. He said that there is equality. This involves a huge issue. He didn't say huge, but I'm trying to remember this. But he said it was equality of personal rights and rights of property between former masters and slaves. Equality, church, has not been mentioned. The 13th Amendment doesn't talk about equality. It talks about the privileges and protections, but it doesn't talk about equality. This is huge. Don't fall for the okie doke. It said, he went on to say, and the connection heretofore between them, the master and the servant, heretofore between them, it now becomes that between employer and hired labor. It says, he said, the freedmen are advised to remain quietly in your homes and work for wages. Right? That's what he said. He said, they are informed that they will not be allowed to linger at a military post, and they will not be supported in idleness, either there or anywhere. So we're thinking equality of personal rights and rights of property. But that's not what it was. It was the okie doke, church, because those folks did not have the right to own as much as they thought they could own. So they wound up being sharecroppers. The plantation owners gave them a share, and of course, they had to pay the plantation owner for the seed and for the animals to work and for everything they had to pay for, plus rent for the land, all of this. It was the okie doke. Even though it said equality, it wasn't equality. So we have, church, that understanding that some people don't tell the truth. They smile and they tell lies. Now, what happened? Here's another fact that you thought was true, but it's not. Black people who were enslaved found freedom for themselves by running away, by finding another way to get out of that hole. So, church, what we're talking about here is that don't believe that the good white folk said to the black people, we understand your horror, your trauma, and now you're free. That's not what happened. So what happened? It rained down terror. And black folks didn't stand around and say, we are free. They left the plantation looking for their loved ones, whether that was wives or husbands or sons or daughters or mothers or fathers. They left looking for them. They put ads in the newspaper trying to find so-and-so. This is what she looks like. Terror, if they remain and they were trying to find something where they could start all over again. That's why so many folks came to Indian territory, right where we are. They came here because they said, we're going to make something out of nothing. Now think about those people, church. If you've been terrorized, traumatized, dehumanized, and you still believe in yourself, you still say, yes, we can. That's a powerful group of people. So you don't look down on people of color because they're carrying a lineage, church, that is stronger than anything you could imagine. It's a faith that says, I will despite all the odds against me. I will. Yeah, when Donna Summer says, I will survive, she's singing it to all of us. She's saying, I will survive. That is a lesson that history tells us is important. So here we go. We are in a reckoning right now, church, where if we tell the truth, people say, oh no, you're making me feel bad. And because I'm feeling bad, you can't talk like that, even though it's the truth. Right? That's where we are right now. But we're here at All Souls. And I feel like I can talk like this to people at All Souls because y'all heard it before. You understand that if we don't tell the truth, if we don't be accountable, we can never have atonement. We can never have reconciliation. We have to be truthful. And that means that you gotta deal with it. And it's not easy, but yes, you can. I mean, think of all those folks, what they had to deal with, and yes, they did. They created cities and towns, and people said, how could they do that? They're just ignorant children. No, they weren't. Who was running the plantation, church? Those were black people running the plantation. They knew what to do, when to do it. So when they came to this place called Indian Territory, they knew how to build homes. They knew how to build houses. They knew how to conduct business. They knew how to farm, and they made homes. Oklahoma, or Indian Territory, had over 50 all-black towns at one time, over 50. Those folks came up here and they said, all right, we're going to make it happen. We're going to make it happen because now it's on me. All those times that I've been thinking, if only I was free, now I am, and I'm going to make it happen. So, church, that's the kind of insight inside of us that works, that is always there. And you, my light-skinned brothers and sisters, you have it too. This is what I'm saying. You have it too. But don't think like you have it and nobody else does. You have it, and so let's share. And that's how we work together. That's how we make it happen. Because you believe in yourself, and I believe in myself, and we put it together. It's not about a rivalry. It's not about being up on the other person. It's not about the okie doke. It's about living life large. Because you can. That's what this kingdom of heaven inside of us. Can I get an amen? There's a kingdom of heaven inside of us. And that kingdom of heaven wants us to be all we can be right now. Not wait till you die and nobody knows. No, right now. Right now, the kingdom of heaven is inside. It's saying, play your horn, Tommy Poole. That's what it's saying. Because he knows. He knows that I got a gift and I got to use it. I can't just be holding it. I got to give it out. I got to let people hear what's inside of me. That's soul. You got it too, church. So you got to be able to say, I am who I am because somebody came before me and gave it to me. That's called lineage. And they pass it on down. Yeah, I know we got trauma. I know that. I know it. I live it. There's some trauma, but trauma is not overwhelming me. I won't let it. See, I'm the son of Robert E. Davis, who told me don't fall for the okie doke. And before that, his father was Reverend P.T. Davis, who told him trust in God. So, when we got that kind of lineage moving, I'm not even talking about my mama's side, because that's the indigenous side, right? That's the side of the freedmen, right? Those folks. And they are always telling us, you are not what you think you are. You are part of something bigger, right? Our indigenous brothers and sisters are always telling us, think beyond this little bitty piece that you think it is. Church, we live in a system that tells us to dog eat dog and step on people to get up and climb and clamor. All of that, that's the system we live in, but that doesn't mean that has to be inside of us. It is our job, church, our job. We come to church to get filled up so we can go back out there and deal with people in a humane way. In a humane way, church, because we're human beings. We're human beings, and that doesn't mean that you're perfect. A human being that's definitely not perfect. They're trying to make the president not take the Eucharist because he supports abortion rights. And so folks are trying to make him not. And the Pope said, "Look here, the host is not the prize for the perfect. It's not the prize for the perfect. So quit trying to make people perfect in order to be saved, right? That's not how it works. We all out here trying to make it. But if we open ourselves to each other, we can make it together. It's not that hard. But our system says separate. And it says separate because then you get control. What does it say? Unity means that you're strong. Put the sticks together, you can't break them, but when you separate them, of course, you can. So it's the okie doke, church. Segregation was an okie doke. Keep us from being together with one another. And it could come up with all kinds of reasons. Oh, we can't have that. Or why not? And that's what we're doing here. We're doing that here. We're saying, why not? We're going to be together. We're going to be our brothers and sisters. And my kids are telling me, Daddy, you can't just say brothers and sisters because that leaves people out. And I'm learning. So if I say brothers and sisters, I mean they, right? Because I don't want to leave anyone out. I'm on this path walking with all of y'all. And I do not want to leave anyone out. Here's the point. Here we go. Howard Thurman, my man. Howard Thurman speaks to me every day. When I read Howard Thurman told us in Jesus and the Disinherited, he said, look here are the three hounds of hell. He said, fear, hypocrisy, and hatred. So are you afraid to love, church? Fear. Fear says you're separate. Fear says I mistrust. Fear says I got to be perfect. I can't make a mistake. Fear. That's a hound of hell, according to Howard Thurman. Hypocrisy. He said, don't deceive people. Don't do an okey doke on folk. He said, don't be hypocritical. No, be authentic. Be real. Touch that thing inside, that kingdom of heaven, that spirit that says, I am someone. Take care of that spirit. Be good to yourself. And so you don't need to do hypocritical things and do hypocrisy and lie and deceive. You don't need that. You come with it. Yes, I'm not perfect. I have all kinds of ailments and all kinds of needs and all kinds of things that sometimes get me in trouble, but I'm still here to love. And so he said that's the second hound of hell. And then he said that last one, hatred. And hatred is disappointment. You're so disappointed that you say it's your fault. That's why I can't do this. I just hate you. And you put all that on another thing or person, and you start hating. And Howard Thurman said that ain't it either. You won't get there. If you're afraid, if you're hypocritical, and if you hate, you won't get there. So what will you be? You will be fumbling and tumbling and falling and getting up and skirting and jerking and getting up and trying and sighing and getting up. That's what you'll be. You'll be continuing to get up and go on, and that's the role that we play. It's a good role because when you get up and get on, you get with people. And when you get with people, you start sharing who you are. And all that soul inside of you bubbles up, and folks say, soul brother, sister. And yeah, that's who you are. That's who you are. You are full of the love that is given to you freely. Church, are you afraid to love? I want a resounding hell no. I love you.
Thank you for joining us. For 100 years, All Souls in Tulsa has been a beacon of this free faith. We offer our services and programs freely online for all those who are interested. You can help us to do this by making a one-time gift today or a reoccurring pledge. We really appreciate you joining us and being a part of helping us make All Souls in Tulsa what it is. Thank you.
Would you like to sing with this band? Okay, I know you'd like to sing with this band. Why don't you open your hymnal to number 131? Or you may be able to see the lyrics on the screen. Love will guide us. And I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we sing together hymn number 131. Love will guide us. Here we go. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us you cannot speak before thousands, you can give from deep within you. You can change the world with your love. Love will guide us. Love will guide us. Peace has tried us. Hope inside us will lead the way on the road from greed to giving. Love will guide us through the hard night.